Boxing has evolved into one of the most sophisticated combat sports in the world, but here's something most fans don't realize. Every single fighter you've ever watched, from neighborhood gyms to championship arenas, falls into one of 12 distinct fighting styles. These styles aren't just random approaches to throwing punches. They're carefully crafted systems that have been refined over more than a century of competition. Tonight, I'm going to break down every single boxing style that exists in the modern game. We'll explore how each one works, why fighters choose them, and which champions have perfected these approaches to reach the pinnacle of the sport. By the end of this breakdown, you'll be able to watch any fight and immediately identify what style each boxer is using and why they're using it. But first, let me tell you why understanding these styles matters. Boxing isn't just about who hits harder or moves faster. It's a chess match where each fighter brings a completely different strategy to the ring. Some rely on precision and distance, others overwhelm with constant pressure. Some wait for the perfect moment to counter, while others use pure entertainment value to throw opponents off their game. The fascinating part is that no style is automatically superior to another. Each approach has strengths that can dominate certain opponents and weaknesses that others can exploit. This creates an endless web of stylistic matchups that makes every fight unpredictable. Let's start with the first style that changed everything about modern boxing. The outboxer represents the purest form of boxing technique. This style revolves around one simple principle: hit without getting hit. Outboxers master distance control like no other fighter, using precise footwork to stay just outside their opponent's range while landing clean, accurate shots. Picture a fighter who moves like a dancer, constantly circling, jabbing, and stepping away before any retaliation can occur. The outboxer's jab becomes their primary weapon, snapping out repeatedly to disrupt timing and control the fight's rhythm. They throw straight punches with surgical precision, then use lateral movement to create new angles that leave opponents swinging at empty air. Modern champions who embody this style have turned defensive boxing into an art form. They understand that winning doesn't require trading punches in the pocket. Instead, they force opponents to chase while landing clean shots from safe distances. The beauty of outboxing lies in its efficiency. Every movement serves a purpose, every punch has intention, and every step creates an advantage. At the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we find the swarmer. Where outboxers seek space, swarmers eliminate it entirely. This style is built on one devastating concept: overwhelming pressure that never stops. Swarmers close distance immediately and force every exchange to happen at close range. They throw punches in rapid combinations, not necessarily seeking knockout power, but creating such volume that opponents can't think or reset. The swarmer's greatest weapon isn't any single punch, but the relentless nature of their attack. This approach requires incredible conditioning and mental toughness. Swarmers must be willing to take punches to land their own, constantly moving forward regardless of what comes back. They use head movement and tight guards to slip incoming shots while advancing, turning every fight into a war of attrition. The most dangerous swarmers combine this pressure with explosive power. They bob and weave through incoming punches, then unleash devastating hooks and uppercuts when they reach close range. Their compact stance allows them to generate tremendous force from short distances, making every exchange potentially fight-ending. Now we encounter a completely different philosophy with the counterpuncher. This style flips conventional boxing wisdom on its head. Instead of leading attacks, counterpunchers wait, watch, and exploit every opening their opponents create. Counterpunching requires exceptional timing and the ability to read patterns in an opponent's rhythm. These fighters study every movement, waiting for the perfect moment when their opponent commits to an attack and leaves themselves vulnerable. Then they strike with precision and power, making opponents pay dearly for aggression. The psychological aspect of counterpunching cannot be understated. Opponents know that every punch they throw might result in a devastating response. This creates hesitation and frustration that counterpunchers exploit masterfully. They often start fights slowly, appearing passive, while actually gathering crucial information about timing and tendencies. Modern counterpunchers have elevated this style through subtle, defensive movements that create openings. They use minimal head movement and slips to avoid incoming shots, then respond with single, perfectly timed counters that often end fights instantly. Their patience becomes a weapon as dangerous as any physical attribute. The slugger represents boxing's most straightforward approach, overwhelming power designed to end fights quickly. Sluggers trade finesse for raw knockout ability, believing that one clean shot can overcome any technical disadvantage. This style prioritizes aggression and heavy punching over defensive responsibility or complex strategies. Sluggers stand in range and throw with maximum force, trusting their power and durability to carry them through exchanges. They often sacrifice accuracy for impact, knowing that even partially landed shots can damage opponents. What makes sluggers truly dangerous is their ability to change fight dynamics instantly. Technical fighters might control rounds through skill, but one explosive combination from a slugger can erase any accumulated advantage. This threat forces opponents to fight more cautiously, often playing directly into the slugger's preferred style of combat. Modern sluggers have perfected the art of controlled chaos. They understand that their primary advantage lies in creating fear through demonstrated power. When opponents witness the destructive capability of a true slugger, it fundamentally changes how they approach every exchange. This psychological warfare becomes as valuable as the physical damage these fighters can inflict. The boxer puncher emerges as perhaps the most complete fighting style in modern boxing. This approach combines the technical precision of an outboxer with the devastating power of a slugger, creating fighters who can adapt to any situation inside the ring. Boxer punchers possess the rare ability to switch between defensive and offensive modes seamlessly. They can work behind a disciplined jab, controlling distance and timing like pure technicians. But when opportunities arise, they step inside with authority, unleashing combinations that carry genuine knockout threat. This versatility makes them incredibly difficult to prepare for because they refuse to be predictable. The strength of this style lies in tactical flexibility. Against aggressive fighters, boxer punchers can use movement and precision to stay safe while scoring. Against defensive opponents, they can increase pressure and rely on power to break through tight guards. This adaptability has made the boxer puncher approach a favorite among champions who face diverse opposition throughout their careers. What separates elite boxer punchers from others is their ability to recognize the exact moment when situations change. They possess an almost supernatural sense of timing that tells them when to box and when to punch. This fight intelligence, combined with physical tools, creates some of the most complete fighters the sport has ever seen. The switch hitter introduces an element that most opponents find nearly impossible to solve. These fighters operate effectively from both orthodox and southpaw stances, creating strategic advantages that go far beyond simple versatility. Switch hitting forces opponents to constantly adjust their defensive positioning and attack angles. Just when fighters establish rhythm and distance against one stance, everything changes. Different punches become available, defensive responsibilities shift, and suddenly familiar patterns become completely foreign. The most dangerous switch hitters use stance changes as offensive weapons. They might begin exchanges in orthodox position, then switch to southpaw mid-combination, creating angles that simply don't exist in conventional boxing. This ability to change trajectories and power hand positioning makes them exceptionally difficult to defend against consistently. True switch hitters demonstrate equal comfort and power from either stance. They don't simply switch positions, but actually think differently depending on which foot leads. Their jabs carry equal authority from both sides, and their power shots remain dangerous regardless of stance. This level of ambidextrous skill requires years of dedicated practice but creates opportunities that single-stance fighters cannot access. Defensive specialists represent the ultimate expression of boxing's sweet science philosophy. These fighters have elevated the art of not getting hit to such levels that opponents often appear completely helpless, despite their best efforts. The defensive specialist's primary weapon isn't any punch, but their ability to make opponents miss consistently. Through precise head movement, perfect footwork, and exceptional timing, they create a defensive matrix that seems impossible to penetrate. Opponents throw combinations that hit nothing but air, while defensive specialists counter with sharp, accurate responses. This style requires incredible discipline and confidence. Defensive specialists must resist the natural urge to engage in exchanges, instead trusting their ability to avoid damage while creating opportunities. They often throw fewer punches than their opponents, but land at significantly higher percentages because they choose their moments carefully. Modern boxing's 12 distinct styles create an intricate web of strategic possibilities that has shaped championship fights for over a century. From the precision of outboxers to the chaos of swarmers, each approach offers unique advantages while carrying specific vulnerabilities. Understanding these styles transforms how you watch boxing, revealing the tactical chess match happening inside every ring. The next time you witness a championship bout, you'll see beyond the punches to appreciate the sophisticated systems that separate great fighters from legends.